tell you what it is. There is no cure for it unless God decides to miraculously heal me, which I'm okay with that, or until I meet Jesus. It's something that I deal with on a daily basis. So it is the hatred of sound. Long story short, give me a list of 100 things, 99 out of 100 trigger me. So if anybody out there right now has water bottles, please don't crunch them. If you have candy in your mouth, don't crunch it. Don't open it, your candy wrappers, because it causes me some traumatic stress. So, and don't get upset with me if you're popping gum or something. I say, can you spit that gum out? Okay? Fair? Quick and easy, right? Got it out of the way. So, let's get into this. Anybody ever go through some storms? I feel like the storm right now that I'm dealing with is, I went and got my hair all cute and did today, and he put this thing on me, and I think I'm sticking out on this side. So I'm trying to look. Okay, there. Is it okay? Thanks. Thank you. So let's go back to May 29th for a second. Y'all stay with me on this. A couple days before May 29th, if you would have asked me, what are your biggest fears? I would tell you spiders, snakes, and tornadoes. A couple days before May 29th, a spider bit my ear, and it left a little scab there, and it was just aggravated me. And then on May 29th, it was church, it was Sunday. I walk outside, and I was like, man, something ain't right about this weather. And it had concern on me. That was early in the morning because we get to church early. Not as early as Patsy, but we get to church early. And that night we got home. There was some storms. I contacted Holly. I said, Holly, you guys okay? And she's like, yeah, we're good, blah, blah, blah. And I went outside and I saw the most beautiful lightning storm going on in the sky. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful that I had to go wake up Brittany. Brittany is my niece. She sings up here. She's beautiful. And she likes storms, and she likes skies and stars and stuff like that. So I went and I said, will you just come out here and look at this for just a minute? So we go out there, and we're standing. I probably took close to 100 pictures, and I think one or two of them came out that you could see the lightning. And it was just so beautiful. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I go in, I sit down. Ryan Vaughn's on the TV, and he goes, I'm concerned about this area right here. We weren't under a tornado warning at that, and it was very, very close to our house, and some other people's in here. Next thing I know, Chris and I kind of walk outside, and Chris is looking, and I'm looking up at the sky. Brittany went back to bed, and I saw that way. I was looking, I was like, wow, why did the sky just light up and turn red? I now know that it was a transformer exploding or whatever. And a second one happened, and all of a sudden you start hearing the tornado. And I was like, babe, here's the deal. I ran inside. I go, Brittany, come on, babe. We got to get in the pantry. We got to get in the pantry. And she's like, are you serious? And I was like, yes. So I got her up out of bed for a second time in one night. This is 11:07:37 exactly. No, not really. And we also have 4 dogs. So I'm getting Brittany, and I'm getting our 4 dogs. Where's my husband? He's outside. What's going on here? Hey, what's going on? Hey. And I was like, here, I got everybody in the pantry, and it's a good thing that we put our treats in the pantry, because I said, yeah, I want some treats. We got all the dogs got all the dogs in there. Then finally, I walked out. I said, Chris, it's real. And he came in. We got into the pantry, and I'm telling you, I looked up. The first thing that got me was I looked into Brittany's eyes, and I've already woken her up twice, and she's sleepy. And she's looking up, and she's like, Mommy, is this real? Is this real? And you can start hearing it. And the next thing I know, we just start praying. And I'm telling you, at that moment, at that time, I had no fear, no doubt, and basically said, God, God, if you're ready to meet us, we are ready to meet you. Without a doubt, without a shadow. And I was probably the most peace that I have ever had in my entire life was in that pantry. Now, also in that pantry, 4 dogs, 3 adults, little pantry. My husband, as the tornado is hitting, my husband is holding the pantry door because the wind was coming in, the debris was coming in. You could hear it hitting our house and stuff. So God has a plan for us. We're still here. We were protected. We are thankful. We are okay. Our dogs are okay. I don't know what I'm going to say next, so let me look. We were protected. God has a plan for us. All right, we're all good. I couldn't sleep. I finally went to bed, I don't know, 3:30 or 4 in the morning. I will tell you this, our neighbors watched their dog being pulled up in the tornado, and 4 hours later, that dog came home. So that's for you pet lovers out there. That was and unharmed. Okay. So tornado ends. Chris is running all over the neighborhood. Neighbors, are you okay? Are you okay? Everybody okay? Okay. We're all okay. There is a lot of damage in our neighborhood. Some lost their homes totally. And we had a lot of cleanup to do. And so we are so blessed with amazing church family and friends that showed up. Matter of fact, people come over to my house that night around midnight, Keith and Karen, and I did not remember them being there. And it was crazy. There were people that came to my house, and it took me a week to remember that they were at my house. Anyway, so we'll get to that. So we went to bed. We woke up. The next day, everybody, our fence was down. We have 4 dogs. We need a fence. And we are everybody's just busy. We're cleaning up. Our neighbors were cleaning up. Jeff's family, I mean, we had a lot of people. We are so blessed to have Real Hope in our life. We are so blessed to have Ram in our life. We are so blessed to have ministries. We are family and friends that love us and care for us and helped us during that time. And then finally, I go outside, and I hadn't sat down. And I finally sat down, and it was like something in me switched. And I went from just clean it, let's get it, da-da-da-da-da-da, to where I could not move. I was looking around at people in my yard putting up, Daniel, I love you wherever you're at. He went and bought posts to hold our fence up and stuff. And I'm looking around thinking, why are all these people at my house? And I know why. And I couldn't get it out. Brittany came up to me and she's like, Dodie, what's wrong? And I was like, I could not think. I did not know what to say. I knew that the people needed to eat, but I couldn't tell Brittany. I was like, I don't know. I can't think of what to feed people and what to order, what to do, nothing. I kind of just went into a trance, and something I've never experienced before. I will say I was in the Air Force for 29 years. I've been in a combat zone. I have been where there are bombings. I have been where I've seen things I never want to see in my life again that affected me, but it did not affect me like what I was going through. So let's see, where are we now? Why does that go off? Trance. Okay, so I started the slow motion. I started having nightmares. I started having slow motion nightmares about Karen and I in Mississippi in slow motion running from tornadoes. I've had, about you, Patsy, tornadoes. Brittany, Chris, I've had multiple nightmares. I've had flashbacks. The washing machine was spinning. I was like, what's that noise? The garbage truck came to pick up our garbage. What's that noise? So it's real, and it's something I had never experienced before. And that's when I learned about big trauma and little trauma. And what I was going through was big trauma. And I will say I'm not an expert on it, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how I dealt with it. I knew something was wrong with me. I wasn't the same. I was irritable. I didn't understand why people weren't understanding me, or I was angry. I couldn't, if you know me, it's probably not my normal personality. My sleep was jacked up, the noises, my body had aches and pains that were just crazy. I was like, we went through it, but we weren't hit. We waited for when we were in that pantry, we felt our house like suck in and then the shift. So, but thankfully our house, we were very blessed, and our house is still standing. So I was experiencing big T trauma, which is, it's a life-threatening event, like a natural disaster, a shooting, a rape, war, sexual or physical assault, bullying, surviving, being sandwiched between two semi-trucks, trailers, and I have friends that's happened to. So this was new to me, because I think, man, I'm a strong girl, I got this, but my body was reacting, and I had to heal. So little T trauma, for those that, some of y'all in here might know that, but little T trauma is like divorce, infidelity, death of a spouse, the death of a family member, family secrets, constant yelling, financial struggles, moving, et cetera, et cetera. So I probably said some of those, and you're like, oh man, I might have some trauma going on in my life. You might. So what did I do to begin to heal? I acknowledged first that something was wrong with me, that I wasn't the same, that I knew I needed time. I knew I needed to lean in on my faith, because faith is very, very, very important to me. I fought thoughts again and again and again. When I would be sitting there and I would, in my head, hear the sound of the wind and hear the tornado and hear the stuff hitting our house, and the issue with insurance claims, that's just a whole different thing. I fought those thoughts. And I have to be aware of triggers. And when I say that, Chris and I, we were blessed with a tornado relief vacation, is what I called it. So someone blessed us to go to Branson for a few days. And on the way back, we were driving in Yellville, Arkansas, and we're driving, and I said, oh my gosh, there's a tornado. There had been a tornado that had come through there. So, I'm Googling it, and I was like, yeah, it's a tornado. And then I read where a young little boy had lost his life in that tornado. So I was fixated on, I know that was a tornado, I could tell, Anyways, be aware of my triggers. Prayer is everything. Everything. There was moments when I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. I would have my Bible, and I would just hold my Bible because I couldn't open it. But I wanted to be close to God. I wanted to have that something. I love my Bible. It's like a stuffed teddy bear that you just want to hold on to. But I didn't open it, but I held on to it. It was important for me to be still, because I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, how can I be going through this? I would be up here at the church, and Patsy, she's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, if you know Patsy, you know she says that to everybody. But to me, I was like, what? I couldn't formulate words. I had to get away. And I was kind of really embarrassed on it. But I made the decision that I needed to get over it. I did not want to stay stuck where I was at. I had to mourn and move, basically keep going. And anytime a flashback would happen, I would have to take captive of those thoughts and think about something else and allow myself to process it. Now, it's only been a month. This may be something I deal with for the rest of my life. I don't know. But I know how I can deal with it now. There was an ice storm. Some people have flashbacks during those ice storms that cannot leave their house during those ice storms that were here, and that was traumatic as well. So we all handle things differently. Your trauma is not the same as mine. Yours might be worse than mine, but you handle it better than me or differently than me. So when we were in Branson, is my husband over there? Yeah. I thought I was going to talk about something else, and then when Chris and I went on this 6-mile hike by accident, we were going to the marina, and I had to go to the bathroom, and the marina was right there. And I was like, yeah, babe, let's just walk to that. Who knew that it was 1.5 miles to get to the bathroom over there and 1.5 miles back, and we'd already, anyways, it ended up being 6 miles. But I'm okay. I made it through. I needed it. But I also found inspiration there. Babe, will you show that first picture for me? I found the inspiration that I wanted to talk about tonight. And some of you might look at that and just see, like, what is that, a tree? For me, looking at that picture, that could have been me just laying there lifeless, not getting out of my bed. I knew I needed to be still and I needed alone time, but I could have just easily stayed in that position and start withering away and get into a depression or getting not healing like as quickly as I am. I believe in Jesus' name that is what I'm doing, healing. So that picture, it's like a dead tree, a dead Dodie. So show the other picture, babe. Now this tree is the one that got me. We were hiking, and I could not stop thinking about this tree. That tree has been damaged and broken and hurt, and it has scars, and it has angst all around it, but it also has an inner circle holding them up. So that right there I see as people holding me up when I was going through the stuff. So it is important for you to have your inner circle, your small circle. I don't have a big circle. People think, oh, you have so many friends. I love everybody, but I don't have a big circle. I mean, you need to get you people. Let me see if I can find this little thing. You need to get, oh, there it is. You need to get you friends that will give you a little Jesus to make your day better. Sam and Angie, thank you, Angela, thank you, Sam. Friends that will understand that you need some time, friends that will check on you, friends that won't take you backwards, that won't take you to where you used to be. And because when we have something traumatic happen to us, it is so easy for us to go backwards if we haven't put God first in our life. If we haven't. So inner circle is important. New circle is important. Not the old circle. So how am I today? I'm still processing it. I only had one nightmare in the last 4 or 5 days, so that's pretty good. I'm better. I'm thankful. I know there's no doubt that based on the houses around us, we were spared. Nobody was hurt. So I go again, and I know that God spared our lives that night, and I'm so thankful for that. So here's my question. Did I miss my? No, I haven't. So what's your trauma? And y'all stay with me on this, because through prayer, through confirmation, I am supposed to talk about this tonight, okay? Bear with me. So, did you survive an EF2 tornado, 120 mile an hour winds? We did. I'm thankful for that. Did you survive being crushed between 2 semi-trucks? I'm thankful you guys are alive. Let me talk about that for a second. Sometimes we don't even process drama because, for those that don't know Keith and Karen, they have gone through, since October of last year, they have gone through some things. And They were between two semi-trucks, and we are thankful that they are both here, and thankful that Karen, she has gone through a bit of hell from this with the surgeries and hospital stays, and her husband has been her rock. And Keith, thank you for taking care of my girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. So did you lose a spouse? Did you lose a child? Did you get cheated on? Were you the cheater? Did you get abused? Were you the abuser? Did you lose your mom or your dad years and years ago and you still haven't healed from it? These are all traumatic events. Did you neglect your children due to your own choices? Did your parents neglect you? Parents, did you forgive your children for their bad choices? Did you miss your child's birthday or prom or graduation? Did you break their heart again? Did you relapse again? Did you steal from your parents or your grandparents or your aunts or your uncles or your friends? Were you raped? Did you rape someone and never get caught? When you were a teenager and she said no and you didn't stop, but you've hidden it and buried it for years and years? Are you holding in family secrets? Do you carry shame? Do your words hurt people you love the most? Do you claim the role of a victim? Do you undermine others' faith? Did your father sell you for drugs? Were you a victim of trafficking? Do you have secret sins you are hiding and the trauma is catching up with you? Are you in rehab, any type of recovery, and breaking the rules? Do you know why you're breaking the rules? Did you commit a crime? Did you commit murder? Are you in recovery and you've turned your life around but still haven't dealt with trauma? Because once you graduate or leave that program, that trauma's still there if you never dealt with it. Yeah, it's great that you're clean, that you're no longer doing dope or alcohol or whatever it is, and it's great that you're on the right path and you have Christ in your life and you're putting God first in your life, but you're in a structured environment. What happens when you leave if you haven't dealt with that trauma? Triggers, which leads to relapse, which leads to worse sometimes. We could go on and on with those questions, but I'm here to tell you there's some good news. We put up a couple scriptures I just want to touch on, Psalm 34, 18 and 19. These verses are meant to provide comfort and assurance that God is close to those who are suffering, and trauma is suffering. And if you don't get help from that trauma, your life can go back to where it was. Some of you may have just received bad news today. But if you are in a program, you can handle that bad news differently than when you're out in your mess. So 18, he saves those who are crushed in spirit, contrite in heart, truly sorry for their sin. This is the Amplified Version. 19, many hardships and perplexing circumstances confront the righteous, but the Lord rescues us all from from them all. We're going to do one more song tonight. And I just want to say thank you for letting me share this trauma. Thank you for information on trauma. I do want to say that every other week, if you are going through, whether you're in a program or you're sitting there and you think, man, I need somebody to talk to, every other Monday night, we have a group here that Miss Nancy, where are you? Miss Nancy leads it, and it's about triumphs over trauma. It's about healing from trauma. It's a place to start. If you have not been into counseling, if you are not in a place in your life where you can give yourself fully to Christ and you need a little more help, this is a good place to start. If you want more information about that Monday night, please let us know. So we're going to do one of my favorite songs. It is so important for us to give things to God, to lay things at the altar, to not pick it back up. But if you are ready, if you have trauma in your life, come to this altar. If you have things that you really, truly need to give to God, leave it at this altar tonight. This is the perfect place to do it. I just know my trauma doesn't look like everybody else's trauma, but I am so thankful in my life that I have an inner circle of people that love me and support me and lift me up when I am down and give me a little Jesus. And I am so thankful for Ridge City Church. I am so thankful for the recovery programs because they have changed my life. We are blessed that we get to go and teach it, a few of them, and it is life-changing to me. So right now, if you are touched, if you have trauma, come to this altar. If you don't want to make that step, pray right there. But listen to the words of this song. Thank you guys very much.
Lay it all down, be